Dear students, a very warm welcome to all of you for this video session number one. In this video, we will have a discussion on the topic TDS and advanced tax. So it is the topic that is covered under the fourth module, that is tax under environment. In this session, let us have a discussion on two important system of taxes introduced by the government of India with the help of income tax department. First, let us understand what do you mean by TDS. TDS stands for tax deducted at source. Let me share you the meaning of this. The person who is responsible for making payment of certain incomes or dispersing certain amounts has to deduct income tax at the prescribed rates before such payment or dispersal and is known as tax deducted at source. Such amount should be deposited by the director in the government treasury within the prescribed limit. Very simple, I'm going to tell you. Tax deducted system, tax deducted at source is nothing but it is one of the important major source of revenue to the government along with advance tax. Under TDS, it stands for whenever a company and individual makes payment to the other party, the person who makes the payment, he deducts certain amount of money and he pays the net amount to the recipient. Now, the portion which is retained by the payer is called as tax deducted at source, and the person whose money is deducted is called as the deductee. Let's take an example. XYZ company runs a lottery tickets. Mr. A has purchased a lottery for rupees 1 lakh. He wins a lottery. The worth of that lottery is 1 lakh rupees, but he gets only 70,000. An amount of rupees 30,000 he is not getting. That is called as tax deducted at source. This amount will be deducted by the company and eventually this amount will be deposited to the income tax department. This is what we call it as TDS. Now, the person who deducts the TDS will give the TDS certificate to the deductee. It means the person who receives the payment who gets TDS certificate amount. Now, this is very important. The next concept we have advance tax payment of advance tax. This is nothing but an SSC. He calculates the total taxable income for the given year. On that, he also calculates the total tax liability. On total tax liability, whatever he calculates, he make the payment of taxes to the government in four equal installments. These four installments would be on the first quarterly installment falls on or before 15th of June every year. Second installment, it will be on 15th of September on or before 15th. He has to pay 30% in the first installment, 15%. The third installment falls on or before 15 December. Now, this also should he has to pay 30%. Then the final installment that will be he must have been paid on or before 15th of March. So totally 100% of tax should be deducted by the assessee. He has to take the deduction amount from the employer. So this is what we call it as the advance payment of taxes in uh, installment. In case if an assessee fails to meet these required amount of installments, so he shall be liable to pay a fine and penalties according to Income Tax Act of 1961. Now, this is very crucial from the examination point of view. Even as a businessman, also it is very important. Or if it is an individual, then also it is very important. Students, let us move on to the different chart rates that is prepared by Income Tax Department. ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಈ ಟಿ ಡಿ ಎಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 192 ಸ್ಲಾಬ್ ರೇಟ್ ಇದೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 12% ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್. Once we calculate this, we also compute the total taxable income. Once we calculate the total taxable income for the given year, we also calculate the ultimate tax liability. After getting the total tax liability, it will be divided by 12. In that way, we are going to take TDS. Now, like that, we have different rates. First of all, we have premature withdrawal from Provident Fund. It is to be taxed at 10% TDS, interest on securities 10%. Like this, we have several different rates we have. This is very important for you to calculate different TDS rates. Here we have another different chart rates that continues from serial number 11 till 25 here. We have a different rates of charts. This should be kept in mind before we could solve the TDS problems. Now, let's move on to the problem now. The first one is calculation of TDS that has to be made in respect of the following transactions for the financial year 23-24. So ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಯರ್ 2023-24ಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅಸೆಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಯರ್ 2024-25ಗೆ ನಾವು TDS ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. This is very important from the examination of point of view. You can expect for 10 marks or sometimes even for 8 marks also. Let us calculate this one, first one. Salary estimated for the year ಇದೆ. Salary for the estimated for the year ಅಂತಿದೆ. You take first salary for first one. We are going to take salary. Now for this, to calculate TDS for salary, we need to go for working note. Now this I'm going to keep it in the bracket. So as per working note, this I'll do it afterwards. It requires some adjustments to be done for this before you could calculate. So followed by we have second one, gross winning from lotteries. What is the amount we have? 45,000. Gross winning from lotteries we have 45,000. Now here, what is important is we should first see what is the rate of TDS. Here you see this winning from lottery, it is taxed at 30%, and the exemption limit is 30,000, 10,000. It means up to 10,000, there is no tax. Over and above 10,000, it is taxed at the rate of 30%. Therefore, it is taxable. Now, what is the amount we have? 45,000. Therefore, 45,000 into 30% we are going to take here. So this is very simple. I'll tell you now. Just follow ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಇದು. 45,000 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 45,000 ಇಂಟು 30% ಮಾಡಿ 30% ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? 13,500 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಟೇಕ್ 13,500 ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ 2, ನಂಬರ್ 3 ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ರೇಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. So ಇದು speculation. This is a speculation income. Even on this also we need to calculate TDS. Now let me see what is the rate of TDS we need to calculate on this. Even on this also we should take at the rate of 30%. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೇನು 30% ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ವಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ, ವಿನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಹಾರ್ಸ್ ರೇಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ, ಇದೀಗ ಅಪ್ ಟು 10,000 ನೋ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೆ 30%. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಎಷ್ಟಿಲ್ಲಿ? 4,000 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೋ TDS. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಟೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ನೋ TDS ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. 30%, ಬಟ್ ನೋ TDS. ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಷನ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು. ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಸೊ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೀವು, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ it is earlier it was 5%, but now it is 2%. So I'll consider 2%. Insurance commission is taxed at the rate of 2%. This we can take care. What is the amount of insurance commission? 25,000 is that. This I'm going to take here. 25,000 into 2%. So how much I'll get? 25,000 into 2%. Into 2%. So 500 rupees we will get. This we have to take here. So insurance commission ಆಯ್ತು. So next ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ? ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಆನ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಾಟ್ರಿ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Now let's see what is the rate. Commission on sale of lottery tickets up to 15,000, no tax. It is taxed at the rate of 5%. Commission on lottery tickets ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 7,000. So no TDS. Up to 15,000 ವರ್ಗು no TDS. No TDS. ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಇದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಇದು 5% ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈಡ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, 5% ಆಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್. ವಿ ಟೇಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್. ಸೊ ಇದು 10%, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್, ಸೊ you can see here from the list of various chart rates prepared by the Income Tax Department of India. Interest on securities illide ನೋಡಿ, no limit, so it is taxed at the rate of 5%. So taxed at the rate of 5%, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಲಿಮಿಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎಂಟರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ನಾನು. ದಿಸ್ ಯು ಟೇಕ್. Interest on securities, ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್? 20, sorry, excuse me. We have 12,000 into 10%. So how much it will be? 1,200 rupees. You take as it is. So after that, what else we have? Payment to electrical contractor. So ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Payment to electrical contractor ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? I think it is 1%. Payment to a contractor, it is 1%. Up to 1 lakh, no TDS. So ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? Payment to contractor. So payment to contractor is single transaction. It is applicable as single transaction. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ electrical contractor ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. Therefore, sorry. Yes, we have to take electrical contractor 40,000 into 1% we have to take. So what is the rate? We have to take 1%. So how much in there? 400 rupees. So ಅದೇ ತರ do it for the next one. Payment to a civil contract. Payment to a civil contractor. Now this entire amount is taxable. What is the rate of tax? Again, it remains 1%. Total is 4 lakh rupees. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ 1% ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು. And then how much we'll get? 4,000 we'll get. So you take 4,000. So after that, we have ninth one. What do we have the next one? Premature withdrawal from RPF. Premature withdrawal from RPF. So exempted up to 50,000. This is no, here we can see premature withdrawal from provident fund. It is exempted up to 50,000. More than 50,000, it is taxed at the rate of 10%. Therefore, we cannot tax on this. We have how much? 40,000 only. But the rate is 10%. You just mentioned the rate. So no TDS even on this also. Yes, no TDS even on this also. Leave it. So last one, 10th one we have interest and deposits. So it is taxed at the rate of 10% on the entire amount of TDS. So I will tell you this interest on bank deposits ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇದು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಪ್ ಟು 50,000. So 10%. So entire amount is taxable. 10%. So entire amount is taxable 10%. What is the amount we have here with us? 28,000. Therefore, 28,000, take 28,000 into 10%. So 2,800 is the answer for this. Now, this one is over here. So far, we calculated TDS on all these transactions, excluding the salary estimated for the year, 4,20,000 and income from other sources. Now, actually, let us move on to calculation of salary as per working note. For that, I'm going to draw 3 columns for this. Particulars, 1 column, amount column, and the next one. The other column is, I'll tell you, inner column, amount. So calculation of total taxable income and tax liability. So first of all, we are going to take, we have two different heads of income. One is salary income and the next one is other sources of income. First one, I'm going to take salary income. First one, or income from salary. I think it is 4,20,000. So second one followed by income from other sources. You take as it is. Income from other sources also, I think we have 1,20,000. This should be considered here, 1,20,000. Now, this totally put together, we call it as gross total income, 5,40,000. This is called as gross total income. Within bracket, I'll type it as GTF. From these gross total income, if you have any deduction generally under section 80G, all these things if you have, you just deduct, otherwise you leave as it is. Deductions if you have, leave it, otherwise you don't have deductions, therefore you leave it as it is. 5,40,000 remains unchanged. Now, this is what we call it as total taxable income. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. So once we calculate the total taxable income, the next step is very easy. That is calculation of total tax liability. Now this tax liability is very simple according to the old regime rate. ಅದು ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. Calculation of tax liability. Very simple for this. First one, the slabs ಇದೆ up to rupees 2,50,000. ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ up to 2,50,000. nil. So tax illa anta artha. So no tax. Number two, rupees 2,50,000 in the up to 5 lakh vargu. So 5% tax rate, 5%. Next slab, rupees 5 lakh in the 10 lakh rupees vargu total taxable income idre. Then rate of tax is 20%. Total of tax is 20%. So we have only 5,40,000. Therefore, we are going to calculate tax for this amount here. Now, first, let me calculate this one. On first, rupees 2,50,000, no tax. The next one, on this amount, 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, will get 2,50,000. 5 lakh minus 250 ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ 5% ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ how much will get 12,500 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 5 lakh to 10 lakh ಇದೆ. ಸೊ 5 lakh to 10 lakh ಇದೆ. But we have how much we have? We don't have, our total taxable income does not process 10 lakhs. So ಹಾಗಾಗಿ out of 5,40,000 minus ಈ 2,50,000 ಒಂದು ಹೋಯ್ತು, ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು 2,50,000 ಒಂದು ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ 2,50,000 ಸೊ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ 5 lakh. Out of 5,40,000, first 2,50,000, no tax. Remaining 5 lakh, remaining 2,50,000, 12,500, and on the balance is 40,000. So this is E 40,000 mele. We are going to tax. We're going to tax at the rate of 20%. Therefore, how much we'll get? I think it is 8,000 rupees we'll get. So this is what we call it as 20,800 amount. We have got, this is the tax amount. So ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, add surcharge nil up to 1 crore nil. ಸೊ ಸರ್ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ದು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಬಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ 1 ಕೋಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ you just write it as, type it as nil. So next, finally, health and education cess. Otherwise, you can write it as just education cess. That's okay, no problem. Add. Education cess will be calculated at the rate of 4%. Therefore, 20,800 into 4%. Very simple. 20,800 into 4%. 832 rupees ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Then you take this 832 rupees is education cess ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. $832, you take this. So therefore, total tax liability is 21,162. 20,800 plus 21,632. 21,632. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 21,632 ನಿಮಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So this is the total tax liability payable by this person. And now let me go for the last step of this year, calculation of TDS for this. So very simple. You have to do a very simple step that you have to take that total tax liability amount divided by the number of months, total months in a year. You are going to get this. Very simple. I'm going to write here TDS per month is 21,632 divided by 12. So divided by 12 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 1803 ಅಥವಾ 1802 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So this is the TDS amount, rupees 1802. This is very, 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 very important. This amount will be added here, since I've already told you, you worked out all these things. And now here you take the total TDS amount. There ends your problem. So definitely you will get full marks for this. If you are going to write the correct answer for this, you are going to write full marks for this. Let me do the total of this. 1802 plus 13,500 ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ 500 ಇದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ 1,200 ಇದೆ. After that we have 400, followed by 4,000 we have, and then 2,800 also we have. So totally put together 24,202. 24,202 is the final answer. So this is what I just wanted to tell. Students, if you have any kind of doubts, clarifications, please don't feel reserved. You can talk at any point of time. In this regard, I'll definitely help you out. So hope you have understood this video. I'll come out with many more videos like this kind of things. If you have any doubts, clarifications, and other things, feel free to ask me. So with this, I conclude my video session of today. Uh, I'll come back on the next video sessions. So video ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಬೈ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾರ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ feel free to ask me. You can WhatsApp me, you can message me. Thank you so much.